So, to introduce myself, I am an executive producer of New Generation in Czech Republic. That's a mission organization that works among youth uh, and students. And today I would like to focus on time management. So you can see you can see my screen, and we can go through the seminar. So the first thing is to answer the question. You should answer the question for yourself. What's important? What is important for you? What's important in your life? What do you think that you want to achieve? At the beginning, I would like to share the very short verse from Psalm 90 from the Bible that says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." That is something that I find very important because we have very small amount of days at this earth, and time management and how to use our time, it's important for us and for our lives. So the first question uh, in time management is, what's important for you? What do you want to achieve? How do you want to spend your time? And what do you want to follow? When you answer this question, we can, or you can move on. So at the beginning, I would like to say that it's important that you know your needs and you know your goals. So when you know what's important for you, you can also say, okay, I want to follow these goals. And uh, also, some people are focused on process and some people are focused on goals. That means you can see in the presentation that focus on process, that means, for example, what do you want to experience? I also want to share very short sentence. I want to run a marathon. I want to experience running the marathon. But the other people can be focused on goals and achievements. And those people should answer the question, what do they want to achieve? Those people often want to finish the marathon. So for example, me, myself, I am the goal-focused guy. I want to finish marathon. Uh, I'm not. When I finished marathon 5 years ago, I did not enjoy running it at all, but I enjoyed finishing it. So are you focused on process or are you focused on goals? Um, so I have few tips for you that you can use in uh, in the time management. When you know who are you, what's your need, what is important for you, then you can follow some time management. The first tip I have is identify how you spend your time. Then that means you can check how much time you spend on Facebook. You can check how much time you spend on eating. You can check how much time you spend on reading or workout or anything. And when you can note down the information about the time, and when you have it, then you can see, okay, I spend too much time on Facebook and social media. I spend too much time eating. I can do half time of that. So if you want to be an effective person who wants to achieve, and I say achieve, then it's important to identify how much time you spend on the activities. The second point I have is to make a list of your tasks. When you know what's important for you, when you identify your life, then you can make a list. For example, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to experience? Again, process or goals. And when you have the list, for example, you can make a list of email replies. Our list can look like this: email replies, homework, reading a Bible and prayer, workout, reading, and Sudoku. When you have those goals you want to achieve at each day, then you have to so for example, when you have email replies, you can say, okay, email replies would take let's say 30 minutes. Homework I have for school would take me 70 minutes. Workout 45, reading a Bible 30, reading some book 20 minutes, and so on. So when you estimate the time of your task, it's very good for you, because then you can see, okay, I have 3 hours of work today in a clear time, and I can use my day as I want to. But I have to do this 3 hours fully focused on those tasks. Next tip I have for you is eliminate the unnecessary tasks. So you have emails, you have homework, you have reading Bible and prayer, workout, reading, Sudoku, and so on. And you say, okay, I don't think that Sudoku would be important for me. So you just cross it. And then you can see the list with crossed goals and things you want to do. Another thing, and that's one of my favorite, that's probably the most favorite of myself, and that's number 5, prioritize. It's important to prioritize the goals and the tasks you want to do. So you can do it in 3 ways. The first way is by numbering the importance of those tasks. So for example, we can say reading a Bible and prayer is number 1 for me. Number 2 would be replying for those emails I have. Number 3, homework. Number 4, workout. And number 5, reading. When you have it numbered, then you can say, okay, those 3, 1, 2, 3 are the most important for me. And those at the end of the list, so number 4 and number 5, it's not that important to follow. So that's one way how to prioritize your task. The another way, and that's my favorite, is by coloring. You can do, for example, 3 colors. Here you can see red, green, and blue. So you can use red for those which is important, green for those that should have to be done, and blue for those tasks that are not important, that it doesn't matter when you don't accomplish those goals. So you just circle those tasks. So for example, email replies and reading a Bible, those are important. So by numbering it would be 1 and 2, and by colors it would be red. Number 3 and number 4 by numbers and by colors would be green, homework, and reading. And the blue one is workout. You can see it's switched with the numbers just to show you that some people like numbers and some people like colors. So you can also choose whether you use colors or numbers. But it helps you to identify, okay, those are important, I have to do that. Those are not important, I don't have to do that. And the blue one, those are the tasks that I don't need to follow. Those are the tasks I want to do, but it's not important to do. And some days you can have, for example, 3 red tasks for 45 minutes each. And when you accomplish it very fast, then you can say, okay, I have some blue tasks in in my list, so I can do those and I can spend some time working on the blue task. The third way of doing it is by columns. So the first one by numbers, the second one by colors, and the third one by columns. Again, it's the same principle. The first one is important, the second one should be done, and the third one it's not important. And you just put the goals and the tasks in the column you want to or that you find important, not important. You can also modify that for you can have a column of delegating or should be out of the tasks. It's totally up to you. What I personally do is that I make a list, color it, and then I put it into the columns. So I use colors for identify what is important and what is not in my day, and then I put it into the columns so I can see, okay, this is important and I have 30 minutes for that. This should be done and I have 50 minutes for that, and this is not important. So when I have some time to spend, I can use those, or I can do those tasks that is not important. Um, the good thing about prioritizing and about this model by numbers, by colors, and by columns is that you can use it for days, you can use it for weeks, you can use it for months. What I mean by that, is that you can do the columns, or you can do the task list. You can do the list of tasks for each day. You can do the list of tasks for each week, and you can do a list of tasks for each month. So again, what I do is I write down every last day of the month. I write down the task that I have to, or that I want, or that is important for me for the next following month. So I write all the tasks I know I want to accomplish in the month, in the next month, and then I circle what is important, what it's not, and then I put it into the weeks. So for example, I have reading so let's say I want to read 4 books in a month. And because I know that I have 4 weeks in each month, I can say, okay, each week I will read 1 book. So at the beginning of the month, or at the end of the month for the next month, you write down that one task is read 4 books. For each week, you write down read 1 book. And for each days, you can write down, for example, read 30 pages. And if you read 30 pages every single day, then you can read how much? 200 pages in 1 week. That would be almost a book. So for me, what works very well is to do that every end of the month for the next one, or every first day of the month, I write down those tasks and set what weeks I would do those tasks. And each week, or each Sunday evening, I sit down and write what I want to accomplish and what I want to do in that week. That is something from the month tasks. And every night before I go sleep, I write down the tasks for next following day. Here you can also use, you can start the day with planning, and some people do recommend to start the day with planning the day. But for me, but you can be different person. For you, it could be good to start with planning, but for me, it's good to have to go sleep with clear mind. So when I write down everything down, when I write everything down in the evening and know what I can expect from the next day, it's very comfortable for me, and I can go sleep with a clear mind. So you can again choose what is good for you. Uh, and when I said at the beginning, it's about focusing on process or focusing on the achievements or on the goals. You can write down the tasks in the way that is important for you. So you can write down reading a book, and you can write down finish the book. You can use the sentence, this week I would love to read, I would love to read. Or this week I want this book to be read. Uh, for girls, it it's the same that uh, some people say, I want to enjoy my wedding day. And some people say, I want to get married. It's two different ways of saying one thing, but it's important for you to know it's important to know yourself so you can write down the task in the way that is good for you. For me, it's good to write down every night before I go sleep the tasks, and then start with a clear that go sleep with a clear mind and start the day with a plan that is planned already. For you, it could be different. You can start a day with planning because each day is different and each day you have different mood. It's up to you. Uh, Another tip that I have for you is routines and changes. Routines may help you to feel more comfortable in working and completing the task. When you have routine that you wake up every morning at 6 o'clock, then you work for 3 hours, then you work out, then you go to work or whatever, go to school. And if it's the same every single day, it will help you uh, to feel more comfortable and to be more productive. However, changes are important too, because it will help you sometimes it will help you to be even more productive. What I mean by that is this. You have my presentation routine, you have routines here. It may help you to feel more comfortable in working. And when you have change, then you have to move your head a little and focus on what is written on that. So it may help you to focus more because it is different than usual. So it's important for you to identify what is important and if you need to change for focusing on that task. So for example, you can type an email, and because typing an emails would take you 1 hour and it's all the same and it's boring and you don't feel focused, you can just in the middle of the activity you can jump for 5 minutes and do some workouts, push-ups or whatever, and it will help you to change your mind and then uh, focusing on the task again. Or you can change the room or background and so on. So routines and changes are important. And the last thing, or one of the last, is distractions. Distraction uh, would harm your effectiveness. And I know this from my own life, that uh, the social media would distract you all the time. So for I myself, I have to say, okay, I have to spend on social media maximum 30 minutes a day. And that's it. Another thing is phone and or TV or radio. If you are used to listen to radio all the time, it may distract you sometimes, especially if it's the same language as you use normally. Then you can focus on the lyrics and the text of the song, and it will distract you from the work. So social media, phone, because you could be always checking the phone. You can have the TV in the background. So those are the distractions. And the last thing is limit what keeps you from being productive. That's another distraction. The things that keeps you from being productive. For example, you can have a bad habit that mm, that before starting every new task, you focus or you drink a tea. But that means that you drink 5 teas in a day. That means that you spend almost an hour on drinking a tea, and that keeps you from being productive. It may keeps you from being productive. So just have in mind that what keeps you from being productive has to be limited. Uh, and what are the tools for you to use? The first one is paper and pen. It's very simple. You can use colors. You can use just paper and pen, write down everything. The next important thing is diary and calendar. You can use a paper or pen. You can use diary, a blank diary, or normal calendar. It depends on you. The last thing is a mobile app. You can use actually dozens of mobile apps that are connected to time management, calendars, and so on. So you can definitely find those. So to just sum it up, the first step is identify how you spend your time. Number two, make a list of your tasks. Number three, eliminate the time of your task. Estimate the time of your task. Number four, eliminate unnecessary tasks. Number five, prioritize your tasks. Number six, routines and changes. And number seven, be careful of distractions. So thank you for the attention. And if you have any questions, just type it down in the chat and I can answer that if you would like to ask anything.
Thank you, Daniel. You can also, guys, just ask through the your microphone. It's okay. So if you have a question, just go for it.
Yeah, Susan writes that she used to listen classical music in the background. That helps you concentrate. Yes, definitely. Sometimes I do that too. And sometimes it helps me to concentrate, but sometimes it also distracts me. So I think it's important to think when it's distracting and when it's helpful. But thank you for this commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no other questions?
Maybe I can, if I can ask Daniel, what can you see as the biggest problem in planning, like the hardest thing for you to plan?
Life would be the answer. Because everything is changing all the time. So for me, it's definitely the changes in life that distracts you. So for example, you want to focus on one task and then you have a call and you have to change all the plans you have before. So what I do is to have, or sometimes I do, I I have some spare time in the planning, so I can save the day by having some room for this or to spare.
Unexpected situations, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Hey, Daniel, I had a question.
Yes, Blair.
Did you find any particular mobile apps helpful? Would you be able to list some?
Well, I will not be able because I don't use much time management applications on my phone. What I use is normal calendar. That's a Google Calendar that is connected to my everything almost. So I use calendar, but what I use the most is normal diary, paper diary, and write down everything. And one good thing that I use, it's not time management application, but it's connected a little, and that's my financial management application. So I can write down every single income and outcome, so I can see what exactly is in my life. And I believe those applications are for time management too. But sorry, I cannot help you with that.
That's okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
So you're a young person doing it the old school way.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it's an easy answer to that, because I am that easily distracted by the phone. So when I use my phone, I all the time want to check the social media, Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, anything. So
Yeah.
that's one thing why I don't use the phone.
Great strategy.
Great.
So probably no more questions.
Maybe I would like to add one app from just for mobile. It's called Loop Habit Tracker, and it is about it. You can type down your favorite things or just your habits there, and there's a graphs how good you are at these habits. Like when you pray every day morning, there is a window for click to the window that you are accomplished it this day, and then there is a map of a week and month and whole year, and then after month, for example, or after months, you can see the whole map, how you were how you were good at it, if you are in a good way or if you are totally losing your habits. So I love this app, Loop Habit Tracker.
Could you type it down into the chat, Pavel?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you. I just realized I love one thing about time management, and that's crossing the tasks that are finished. And that's one more reason why I love paper and pen, because crossing it is that good feeling. I love that. It's, yeah, the phone application, when you just click it, it's not that good for me. Yeah, exactly as Blair shows.
Yeah, Loop Habit Tracker.
Daniel, I have a question. This is Suzanne. do you give yourself rewards when you finish something?
Thank you, Susan. Hello.
Yes.
Good question. Well, sometimes. For some tasks, I give myself rewards, uh, but not as much as I would like to, because I think about myself like I'm just a normal, ordinary guy. I don't need reward. But it's good point, Susan, that reward yourself. It could be very motivating. So, for example, you can say, okay, when I read those 5 books, I can buy another one. So sometimes I give myself rewards. So for example, when I accomplish or complete all the exams in school, I can buy a book, but not for those small tasks in every normal day life. Thank you.